The mean green neo-magnet motor machine, introducing the ASG Ultimate Infinity CNC U-18,000 motor, ASG's response to the Franken-Torque. In the past, if an airsoft tech wanted to build a gun that had low ROF, instant trigger response, and the power to pull any spring, he had to build a Franken-Torque motor. Until now. The ASG Ultimate Infinity motor comes quite well packaged. Though packaging is probably not what you came for, it is worthy to mention that it is secure during its journey from the factories of ASG to your hands. The packaging gave me no trouble as I pulled the motor out for initial inspection. As soon as I had the motor in my hands, I knew I was holding something special. The beautifully CNC'd parts, the immaculate two-tone green and black, the thick silver brushes, it all speaks high quality. Upon attempt to turn the motor, I found it gave a considerable amount of resistance before I got it to rotate, a symptom of hefty neodymium magnets. When I moved to test the armature, I found optimal minimal movement. This armature is well shimmed. As the name of the product states, this motor does have some CNC action going on. The end bell, tower, and pinion are all CNC'd. The end bell and tower are CNC'd out of aluminum, and the pinion is CNC'd out of steel. Why, you may be asking? Because it makes it tough. A lot of end bells on lower quality motors are weak and poorly designed. The ASG end bell is as tough as it's gonna get, and it is superior in design, but we'll get more into that later. The tower, while fancy, doesn't exactly need to be CNC. Towers never break. The CNC action up top makes the pinion nearly invincible, save for a bad beveled pinion shimming, that is. However, I do wish the pinion was a D-type, as opposed to the currently equipped O-type, but that is no big deal. Upon disassembly, I got a better view on the parts that make this motor shine. To start off, the brushes are vertical and about twice as thick as other brushes, allowing them to contact the commutator more than standard sized brushes. In addition, they have thick silver wire, just like the good old Systema Magnum motors. With the end bell off, you can really feel the quality, and the lack of weight to it. It simply feels and looks great. Inside the end bell, you'll find a single bearing that the rear of the armature rotates on. As I said earlier, the ASG end bell is better designed than other end bells by utilizing a lock ring inside the motor can to hold the end bell down. This design is better than the tab system where the end bell is held in place via tabs on the motor can. However, it is a fair point to make that not all motors use tabs. Many do use the lock ring system. Nevertheless, the lock ring is always a plus. As to be expected, you'll find a pair of monster neodymium magnets inside this motor. These magnets are well shimmed to the armature, so there's no problem here. This armature is the cleanest one I've seen. The windings are very neat, except for a few errors here and there. The 28 TPA windings are tight, just like they should be. The commutator is quite clean as well. In addition, the armature is balanced using weight reduction on the arm, much better than the traditional way of using epoxy to balance it. Plus the one in the end bell, the motor does take advantage of two bearings in the tower to help secure the armature in the can. A total of 3 bearings. The ASG Ultimate Infinity CNC U-18,000 is a 28 TPA motor, so, as to be expected, it is quite slow. But it has an insanely fast startup time. When combined with an 11.1 volt LiPo, BTC Chimera, and 13:1 gears, you're going to get some pretty wicked trigger response. Not to mention, this motor could easily pull a tank, even at some incredibly high speeds. I was actually unable to find a spring that could stop the ASG motor. From M170 spring DSGs to MS210 spring DSGs, this motor couldn't be stopped. To my delight, the ASG pinion meshed well with popular bevel gears such as SiegeTech, SHS, and even JG. The only real con of this motor is the fact that it did heat up a tad bit quicker than my Franken-Torques I've used in the past. That's due to the enclosed design of the tower. However, this heat difference is quite negligible, as it was only a tad bit faster to heat up than my other Franken-Torque motors. In conclusion, the ASG Ultimate Infinity CNC U18000 motor is a fantastic buy at a staggeringly low price of $55 on Brill Armory, and will most certainly yield the trigger response, torque, and efficiency you're looking for. I recommend this motor to anyone looking for a motor to use in high-speed DSG builds, high FPS DMR builds, and even Milsim semi-auto only realistic builds.